All right, good afternoon. I think just as it pertains to this game, a few things came out. Just the fourth down, we had the one fourth down there early that we were able to, get 7 points out of. And then the fourth down they had at the end of the game for us to get off the field, that was big. Cora coming up with the sack. Certainly the turnover was big, They had the one that Jeff got, and that was for 7. So that was huge. We didn't give the ball away, and then penalties were huge, man. We played pretty disciplined, and we were trying to get off blocks, shed blocks, trying to do the right things, and we stayed pretty clean. Only 2 penalties, and they had 9. So that was the difference. And then as far as just the fourth quarter, to come down, you're down 2 scores. Defensively, we had 2 3-and-outs in the fourth quarter, which not only do you get to stop, but the fact that we were able to get off the field quickly, get it back to the offense was huge because they were chewing up some clock. So those were big. But defense 3-and-out, offense gets a touchdown. Defense interception for a touchdown. It was Akuda. Then defense gets back on the field. He makes a big play. We busted there, but he made a heck of a run. Offense, we go 3-and-out. We got to punt it. Defense takes the field again, and we get a 3-and-out. So we get another chance. And offense takes it down 8 plays, 91 yards, get a touchdown. And then defensively, we got the stop there on fourth down. And then just the icing on the cake was the offense goes out there to get the first down to seal it where we can take a knee and finish it out. So it was a good team win. Fourth quarter, we did what we had to do to win that game, and guys played hard and did what we asked them to do.
I wanted to ask you about Hutch. You look back to that play against Green Bay where it identified the tackle pass and made the play, and then the one with the tight end screen. Is that just a good example of a young player where the game's maybe slowing down for him a little bit? He's starting to see the entire field and what's happening around him in his evolution?
Yeah, I would say that would be accurate. He's a pretty instinctive player, and he picks up things pretty fast. And what's interesting is that I can still remember the first 2 days in spring practice out here when we had him running with the ones, and I think we threw 3 screens at him within, the first 4 days. And he's just sprinting at the quarterback, and they're just, it's gimmies. And just to see where he's come from there, he's figuring it out. He is very instinctive. And so, look, he was obviously a huge factor on that play to make Fields hold on to it. But then, Bugs was in his face, continued to just close the distance, hand up. He didn't bite on the pump fake or anything. And so we forced him to make an errant throw there. And then Akuda made a hell of a play. So.
You took an early field goal yesterday, first possession, second possession, whatever it was. That's maybe a spot deep in their territory where sometimes in the past where you've gone for it. What was it about that game or situation? Why did you decide the points were important for you, I guess, in that instance rather than trying to convert that fourth?
Yeah, I felt like that was the right move at that moment, just with where the game was going, where I thought it would go. And, we'd had a pretty good drive. We had to overcome a lot to get down there that first possession. We ended up in second and long, third and longs. We overcame them. And so I wanted to make sure we came away with points on that drive.
Is there an example at all of how your decision-making has evolved or how the team has evolved that you fit your decision
No,
into that?
I think I could have very easily gone for it, but I just felt like that was the right thing to do for that moment.
Seems like a lot of the young defensive players seem to be popping. Kirby Joseph, of course, and others, and Okuda, still young. What are you seeing there? Is that just as players gain experience, or is there something else being put in different positions?
Just give me the question one more time. I'm sorry.
The development of young defensive players.
Look, I think just growth in the system. There again, we've talked about Jeff. Now I think Jeff's officially out of the just needs to continue to bank reps. Like, I think he's banked a lot of reps now, and he's continuing to get better, and it's showing. He's playing physical. We've talked about him on the perimeter. He's making plays out there. And he's just so much more comfortable and confident right now. So, he's trending the right way. But, you saw a lot of plays out of our young guys. We talked about Hutch. Not to be lost is the big boys there in the middle, Mac and Bugs. But then, Pascal, before he had the injury, he's doing some things over there. So Barnes is continuing to come along. So Jerry Jacobs gets in there. Every week he's gotten better and more confident. So they're growing, and I think more importantly they're growing together, and they're starting to figure each other out. They're starting to trust each other and trust what they're being given. So I think every little success you have here, when you're able to overcome some things, I think you grow and you do get confidence, and so I feel like they are beginning to mesh a little bit here and gaining steam. So hopefully we can continue to trend that way.
Yeah, Coach, how valuable or important is it when you get major contributions from players like Wright with a touchdown catch and Kennedy with the big gain he had, and then we get a lot of balls their way, but when they get it, they really come through.
Yeah, those are big because those are no different than that's an NBA. That's your guys coming off the bench, and those are valuable minutes, and you need some production out of those guys. And so, TK, you never know when your number is going to be called. One of the reasons he goes to the game is because he can play multiple roles for us mentally and physically. He can do some things. He's better suited at other things. Not everything, but he has to do everything for us in case he's needed, and he is needed right now. And so, we get in there, and it's a pivotal moment to where he's really number one in the read, back to saying he's number two, and he shows up, and Goff hits his back foot, lets it go, hell of a throw. The protection was great. He wins on the route early, and so when called upon, he makes a play. But yeah, it's crucial because you don't know. You may only get one opportunity, but you have to be there when you're called upon.
Dan, I was wondering, the team made plays late, winning 2 games in a row now. Collectively with the young roster, I'm just wondering what's the next logical step of progression we can kind of look for over the next 2-3 weeks?
No, we're not changing anything we do. We got to continue to everything we've preached since really day one. We're still preaching the same things. We've tweaked a couple of things schematically, but ultimately, nothing has changed. So it's just about continuing to grow, gain your confidence, and when you have an opportunity to make a play, we got to make more plays than they did. And really, we just talked about some of the reasons, but we were more disciplined. We played disciplined football, and it wasn't always pretty, but man, we did what we needed to do, and so we stay the course here. The trick here will be, we're going into really 2 games in 14 days or whatever. That's more of a trick than anything else. But I know the most important game is this one coming, and it's the Giants. And so we got to do whatever we need to do to prepare for this one, and worry about Thanksgiving after that.
Yeah, kind of along those lines. Ultimately, for the program, you got to have success. What's it mean to kind of check some boxes to get that second win in a row, get a road win? For a lot of guys in there that had never done that.
I think just that. It's just the understanding that, man, it's if you really want to become a truly competitive good team, that you have to stack some wins together. All the good ones do, and so just to eventually get on that path, get on that road, you gotta put 2 back to back, and to be able to do it on the road, there again, division opponent, I think those are big things for us, especially with a young team, because that's how you grow up in a hurry. It's how you mature in a hurry. And so, those things will serve you well as you continue to go down the road. So, it's big, and but I know this, it's man, we're back to the next one now, and we got to go on the road again. It'll be a hostile environment. This is a good football team that knows how to win. They don't make mistakes. They have a good ground game. They have a good defense. And so, this will be another challenge. But I feel like we're a little better suited now than we were when we started this season, We're kind of at the point now where we're progressing a little bit, but it's another one, and we have another big challenge.
Dan, you elevated Jared Davis for this game. It wasn't just an insurance move. You had him in there in some pretty meaningful situations. For him to play the way he did, to come up with a play on that initial series, and seemed pretty assignment sound on his snaps. What does it mean for a guy that's kind of given all he's had since he got here back again in training camp?
Yeah, listen, we were to be able to get him up, we we thought, it may be hard for Rodriguez to play last week, and so we knew if we got him to the game, he was going to play. It was just his type of game. It was a run-heavy game, fitting the run, coming down, hitting blocks, all those things. And so, look, we have a lot of faith in him. It was one of the reasons why we wanted him back here. We needed him here in some capacity, form, or fashion. We were fortunate for him to say, you know what, yeah, I want to be there. I want to be with you guys and be a part of this. And so to have him ready to go for us, and when called upon, and watch him step in and do exactly what he did, that's why you want guys like that around, because they're dependable, and you're going to get a good day's work out of him. And he's a team guy. He's all about ball. He loves ball, but he loves his teammates too. So we can't have enough of those guys around here.
What did you see in your secondary on some of those long scrambles? You only had one defensive hold, I think, maybe in the last series.
Played well. I mean, that's not easy to do. And I just bring this up. That's 4 weeks in a row now that offense over there has put up that kind of production. And the hard thing is to stay as disciplined as you have to on your rush and your rush plans, your rush patterns. You got to get them off the spot, but yet you got to get them corralled back in. So your legs are burning. You want to just throw your body in there to see if you can take a shot at one, which is not going to work. And in the meantime, while all that's going on, your secondary is having to cover from sideline to sideline deep, then put your foot in the ground, they come back. And so, you do that. And really only, there's probably a couple of passes there he was able to complete once he broke the pocket. And but all in all, man, I thought they did a heck of a job, because that's not easy either. I mean, you're just running for your life. But it's something we talked about all week, and you come away with one penalty, that's pretty good stuff, So those guys are growing. I thought they competed, and they're, again, really from the front end to the back end. They knew what we had to do to try to slow this offense down, and they did it. And it's you got to go the hard way to do it, because it's not easy, and it does. It tests your endurance, it tests your discipline and everything. Those guys, they handled it.
2 games in 10 days. How did you come out injury-wise? So right now was in a boot, and Trinity was on crutches, and beyond that, can you maybe get anybody back, DJ Chark or somebody like that? I think is eligible to return here in the next week.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where they're at, and. Frank, I don't know about Frank. I didn't even know he had a boot on last night. So, you guys saw that? Was it the right foot or the left? Left one. So we'll see. But yeah, look, we'll day to day. I know that Shark's a little bit better. I know Reynolds is a little bit better, but that's just that. It's just a little bit better. So we'll know a lot more tomorrow, and then getting ready for these guys.
And then Victory Monday, Carlos maybe talked you into that.
It's a half Victory Monday. Yeah, I remember what Carlos said. See, that was. You guys are all still here though, so. Yeah, right.
But no, just reward, or because everything coming up, or what was the?
A little bit of everything, It was. These guys have continued to put in the work. We haven't changed what we do in that regard, and they continue to go. But it's also, I know what we're getting ready to face in this 2-week window, this 14-day, 12-day window, whatever you want to call it. And so, it's a semi-Victory Monday. Those guys are responsible for handle your groups, and you guys come in and lift together as a group and watch the film together, and then get out of here. Treat the body and get out, get ready to go for Wednesday. So. I'm trusting them.